Hey guys, so today I'll be changing the rocker cover gasket on my Celica GTS right here. It's got quite a few leaks all around the rocker cover, so it's obviously gotten a little too old. I just bought an OEM part from Toyota dealership themselves. It costed me $50 AUD, and we're going to be putting that on today. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'll show you what mine looks like right now. So as you can see, we got some oil leaking in just about there. And all around the gasket, it has oil debris everywhere. So we're going to be replacing this old one and in with the new. So the first thing to do is take out these ignition coils. They're just a 10 mil, so we'll go ahead and do that. Now that the ignition coils are out, we're gonna move this at the very end because we'll get it out the way of the rocker cover. But next, what we need to do is undo these breather hoses by these clamps. Now with both breather hoses off, it's next for this one here. It's got two 10 millimeters. I find it's very hard to get this one off because it's metal, because of the screws still being out. So what we'll use is a reverse torque screw and take the screws out also. With both the 10 mils off now, we're going to take these screws out. They're reverse torque screws, so it's an E5, which will be this socket here. Once you've removed those screws out, they should look like this. That means the breather hose is now easy to get off because, as you can see, there's not much play, so we need to get those screws out the way. So now that we're done that, we're on to the final part. We'll remove the main 10 millimeter bolts from the rocket housing and we'll get those around. So if you look around, you'll find well, that's not good. Anyhow, there, and there. So remove all those 10 millimeter bolts and then we will be good to remove this out the way and get the rocker cover off. All right guys, I found the 10 mil. Luckily it fell all the way through, but I tell you, it's always the 10 mils. Okay, so once you've got each 10 millimeter bolt out from the rocker cover, which there's 3 down here, 3 at the front, 1 on the side, and 3 at the back. I labeled mine so I know which ones to put back where. You don't have to, they are the same screw after all, but it's just a good practice. So I'll be doing that, you don't have to. But with that, we'll now start to move this out the way and lift the rocker cover off. With the rocker cover off, you'll be able to see inside your engine. And if it's looking anything like this, that is not a good sign. Now, mine has 260,000 kilometers. It's getting old, but this generally means oil changes weren't kept up to date. Now, I did, but obviously the previous owner who I bought it from at 210,000 mustn't have changed the oil. If you see this, there's not too much you can do. You can do an oil flush, but at the end of the day, because it's so sludgy, you don't really want to get that sludge getting fallen into the bottom and deposited because they can mix in and it's not that good. So end of the day, engine rebuild is kind of all you need, or you just let it be. And if you let it be, it won't be too many side effects, but it is what it is. It's an old car and it's got 260,000 kilometers. So hopefully yours look more kind of like this camshaft part here, but all around. And if it is, good job, because your car has been kept up to service. So without further ado, let's get that gasket, the old one, off and put the new one on. We're going to use a screwdriver to just pry under there and we'll start peeling it off. You use a screwdriver just to pry it open, it will start to pop out. And just like that, it will come all off. Whilst I'm here too, because there's so much sludge on the rocker cover, this we can take out manually. I'm just going to spray some degreaser, use a wild steel brush, and we'll get that all out. So at least we can clean this up. So I've just finished cleaning up my rocker cover. The sludge obviously is still on the engine, but the rocker cover is looking much better. Now we're going to get the gasket in there and apply some Ultimate Black RTV silicone. So this helps stabilize the gasket in place. So we'll go ahead and do that. So this is what mine looks like after a bit of a clean. Obviously not perfect, but definitely got a little sludge out. Now we're going to use some of the silicone. And in basic, once you get it out, put some in the corner here. Corner, 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 corner. So once you've got the silicone in the corners, just like that, just little dots, we'll now apply the new rocker cover gasket and set it in. So we've got the new gasket in. Now what you want to make sure is where you had that silicone, you start pressing down so it does flatten it out, and you make sure it's all sealed tight by pushing over the gasket. So once you've done that, you are now ready to just let it sit, let the silicone dry for about 30 minutes to an hour. And just before you put the rocker cover back on, make sure you clean up the excess oil deposit that is where the rocker cover gasket goes. Just get a cloth and clean that all up. And once you've put everything back in reverse order, you should have it looking back to new. Now, when you're putting these 10mm bolts along the gasket, make sure when you snug tighten them, you do it in a star pattern so that when you put it on, the gasket is sealed correctly and evenly. Just like when you're putting a tire back on with the lug nuts, you do a star pattern. But yeah, once you've done that, start up the car, make sure there's definitely no leaks. And once you've driven it a bit, also check that there's no leaks so you know that you've done it correctly. But yeah, if you like the video, please hit the like. And if you want to see more videos about the Celica, this is part of my build. I'll be doing it all up, doing a lot more aesthetics features to it. So if you like Celicas, do hit the subscribe button. But yeah, without further ado, hope this video helped you guys, and peace out.